Seven blessings and welcome to our inaugural episode of a yet-to-be-named stream in which we discuss and review our favorite fantasy and adventure series.
Good evening, little doves, and cheers. This episode's focus is going to be on the upcoming first premiere episode of The Night of the Seven Kingdoms, the newest Game of Thrones spin-off series. No spoilers, don't worry.
We're going to discuss what we know about the series, the cast and creative, and what we know from the teaser trailers. We, of course, are all very familiar with the Game of Thrones series, and I read Songs of Ice and Fire once.
I've read Song of Ice and Fire, and I've read Dunk and Egg, and I am currently in the process of rereading Dunk and Egg, hopefully finishing story 1 by Sunday, so I'm re-familiar with it.
Oh, good for you. I love that they call it the Dunk and Egg novellas. That's what my friend called it. That's like what they call it. I don't know. So they're like little mini books that George wrote while he was also writing A Song of Ice and Fire. Like when they came out, kind of like is all like in between when all the books came out.
Yeah.
Can you set the scene for us a little bit? Like when does this show take place in relation to Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon?
So it's another prequel to Game of Thrones, takes place between the events of House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones. Like we said, it's based off of George's Tale of Dunk and Egg, Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Two really beloved literary characters. Dunk, he's a tall, lanky, earnest hedge knight, and Egg, who's a bald little young boy who really kind of makes himself the squire. Gets his way in there.
So like you said, the Night of the Seven Kingdoms takes place before Game of Thrones. So it's like 80 to 100 years before the start of Robert's Rebellion and 8 or 9 decades after the Dance of Dragons, which is the story of the events of the House of the Dragon.
Right. So we're definitely going to see some familiar faces, not familiar faces, familiar houses, names, banners, all of that. Definitely locations. We're going to, get into all of our favorite places in Westeros. Targaryens are still in power, of course. This is before the Mad King. So there's no wars. Everything's pretty stable, pretty peaceful. And
so are we going to be meeting characters like the current king, the Hand of the King, the Warden of the North, like the same kind of characters that we're meeting in the other shows?
There's definitely like the princes.
It's like different than the original series from what I can gather, because it's like it's not following royals and nobles the way that Game of Thrones and Night of the Dragon like specifically focuses on. Like whereas this is like more like Arya and the Hound chilling on the road, like
right. Less about like the royalty, nobility, kings and queens, and more just following Dunk and Egg along their journey and their travels, their adventures.
There are less magical aspects, like so there's no dragons, no red priestesses.
None of that.
I did notice that from the trailer, the characters are a little less shiny. Like, I mean, there's some characters, there's like a tourney or something that's happening, and there's some characters in like armor and crowns and stuff. But for the most part, these two main characters, Dunk and Egg, are pretty like grungy. Like they look like they don't have houses.
Right. Traveling, just kind of sleeping where they can. Dunk, he was just knighted right prior to the beginning of the series. So like he was trained, but he never really had any battle experience or anything. The guy that was training him and took him on as a squire. Yeah.
And like he knighted him, which we know from the episode with Brienne of Tarth that a knight can make another person a knight. So I keep hearing him called a hedge knight. What is that? Like in the things that I've read.
Right. So a hedge knight is more like he doesn't serve any particular one house. He's kind of like a knight for hire, traveling around, sleeping where he can, sleeping in the hedges, not really sleeping in a tent, just kind of camping where he can, finding sleep where he can, finding work where he can. So really kind of like
like Bronn, like he's like the sellsword Bronn.
Kind of, sort of, but he is a knight. Or Bronn wasn't really a knight until yours truly. Knighted him. Made that to screw over the brother, but screw over Tyrion.
Similar to knights like Davos and Jorah, he's not born into nobility, but he's hoping to become recognized through fame or like winning a tourney. Like
right, showing his worth. Yep, winning. He wants to go win a tourney, show his worth, show that he can.
And that's like actually prize money. There's like a purse that you win when you win the tourneys.
Right.
And stuff.
Right.
Okay.
And then maybe someone will declare him for their house.
Oh, okay. Like you could get like sponsored.
Yeah.
Okay, so
We don't really know much about Egg at this point. I mean, I do, but I'm not going to tell you. So we don't really know. And he just is a little squirrely little boy that just kind of starts following Dunk around. And
he looks like a street urchin. He's just like a sassy street kid who's there, and Dunk needs a squire, and they team up.
Yeah, pretty much.
I feel like it's very like Arya and the Hound, which is like I know for myself one of my favorite character dynamics.
Yeah,
it's like you know, like one guy who's like tough and a little bit grumpy, and the other one who likes like always like putting him in his place.
Yeah, very much that.
So let's talk about the actors. It's really about these two guys. Sir Duncan the Tall is played by Peter Claffey, who is so easy on the eyes.
Yeah.
And when I found out that he had an accent, like an Irish accent, it was giving me like Outlander vibes. I don't know if you watch Outlander, but like Jamie from Outlander, he's so cute. He's got the accent. I just love everything about that. This guy was a former Irish rugby player, which if you know anything, if you were in my algorithm on Instagram, there's a lot of like rugby thirst traps. I'm gonna insert some pictures here. Definitely easy on the eyes, this guy. So then Dexter Sol Ansell is the name of the kid playing the adorable and quick-witted Egg. Dexter's very new to acting, similar to like Maisie Williams and the other young actors that were cast to play the Stark siblings. He was young Coriolanus in a short flashback in the Hunger Games Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And then I also found out that he was in this like little like British indie film that came out in 2024. There was definitely some like dressing up like knights and like Ren Fair cosplay involved. So I wouldn't be surprised if like the casting directors like saw that and they were like, done.
Yeah,
I can envision it now. But yeah, I think it's going to be a really cute dynamic. And from all of the like behind the scenes footage we've seen, they clearly seem to have a good relationship, like actor wise. And I think that it's going to be really cute seeing their dynamic grow. Okay, so this was our pre-episode premiere chat, and we plan on doing a little reactions, non-spoiler reactions and recaps of all of the episodes every Monday after they premiere. So come join us.
Yes, see you next week.
I wish you could, and in the words to come.
My dire wolf.
My cat scratching at the door.